Hey, hello everyone. Good morning, and thanks for joining for this live session. Those who just joined the session, we have already posted the software that you required to install and use in the Telegram group as well as in the WhatsApp group you are part of. Kindly open the document and follow the steps one by one until the trainer connects with you, and the trainer will join shortly. Thank you.
Ashok, I'm here.
Hey, hello everyone. Good morning, and thanks for joining for this live session. Those who just joined the session, we have already posted the software that you required to install and use in the Telegram group as well as in the WhatsApp.
Ashok, shall I start? Hello.
Hi, bro. We are good to start. Thanks.
Host disabled the screen, says I'm unable to share.
Yes, please. Yes, bro, you can start.
Thanks. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is Nagaraj. Good morning to early morning LWC workshop. Okay, fine. Able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we are going to have a continuous, series of, daily hands-on sessions on LWC. So this will be, we will start with very basics. Okay, so we'll be explaining code snippets or explaining the concepts in a day, and you will be getting a chance to try that, in the same day itself. So that's the way we have planned this session. So hope it will definitely helpful to you all. Okay, fine. To begin with LWC Lightning Web Component, what is meant by component in Salesforce? First, we need to know that, right? What is meant by component? So component is generally a user interface. You can consider component as an user interface. So a user interface used to create applications for desktop and mobile technologies. So you will be creating the components. The components can be used in the Salesforce, web-based application, or it can be used in the, Salesforce One mobile app also, right? So if you look at the components, generally the types of components, if you look at, you can classify it generally as standard component and custom components. If you log in into your Salesforce org, you could able to see there are plenty of, the standard components there. To see the standard components, for example, I'm in the home page. Let me try to edit the page. I'm going for edit page. If you look at this, when I'm trying to edit this page, it's a home page or it's a record detail page, whatever it may be. When I'm trying to edit the page, in the left-hand side, I can able to see a tab called components, right? So under this, you will be seeing different varieties of components. One is called, a standard. This is a standard out-of-the-box components, which is readily available with Salesforce. Okay, so components in the sense, it's going to be a user interface. Let's say, for example, you want to display a calendar in your screen. Calendar will be considered as a component, right? So those are the standard components, highlights panel. So that's a standard component. If you look at here, you have another two sections here. One is called custom component and another one is called custom managed component. So generally you can classify as a standard as well as custom components. So custom components can be classified as managed as well as unmanaged. For example, you are going to install your package from an app exchange. Okay, sometimes, you may not be able to see the source code or you may not be able to do changes in that. So that is generally called as a managed package component. So sometimes we are building a component in the initial stages, right? We will be building the component. That component is generally called as unmanaged components. So if you look at the page, if you're trying to edit the page, you will be seeing two sections. One is called custom. This is the unmanaged component. and this is called managed component. As far as this org currently I have logged in, it does not contain any managed packages. So there is no managed component. I have already deployed a unmanaged component that is available. This component can be of, built using different technologies. That is the secondary. Okay, so the first thing is we should know what is meant by a component. Component is going to be an user interface. User will be interacting with elements. Okay, so as of now, ways of creating components in Salesforce. What are the different ways you can able to create component? A component can be built using Salesforce flows, right? If you look at this particular page, initially you could able to see that this is the home page. In the home page, I had a screen flow, right? I had a screen flow. This is also called as a screen component, right? Why this is called as a screen component? Because user will be entering some amount, they will be selecting some dates, and after that they will be clicking next. So user is basically interacting with this. So this is called user interactive component. So a component can be built using Salesforce screen flow. This is a zero code or a low code way of building a component. Next, sometimes flows may not be sufficient. You may need more customization, right? Salesforce flows also will have its own limitation. In Salesforce flows, you will be having some bunch of components that only you can able to do it. Let's say you can place an input box, you can place a calendar, you can place a pick list. Okay, you may not have a grid there, right? If you look at the Salesforce flow, you may not have a grid. So if that is the case, you need to build your custom component. So generally, LW is all about customizing the user requirement or customizing the Salesforce, components the way the client or customer expects. And Visualforce is a web page, but still you can call it as a component can be created using Visualforce pages also. So the mainly previously it was Aura component, and now we are using LWC component. It doesn't mean that Aura is out. Still Aura is there. And component can be created, lightning components can be created using Aura, or it can be created using LWC. The major difference is going to be the way it was structured. Okay, that is going to be the major difference between Aura and LWC. So what is LWC? LWC is a web-based programming model to create lightning components. We are going to create lightning components. Lightning components can be created using Aura, or it can be using LWC. If you look at LWC, the architecture is going to be entirely different. This is based on a web-based programming model. Okay, so based on web standard. Web standard means how you will build a web page, right? The way you will be building a web page, you can build your custom components also. So that's why it is generally called as based on a web standard. Because of it is based on the web standard, it is lightweight because it is always going to render in the client side. If you look at this, we are seeing data in our browser, right? This browser is generally called as client. Where these data are stored? The data are stored in the Salesforce server, right? Which is in your remote system. You are using your local machine. Your local machine is generally called as a client. So this LWC components will be rendered in the client side. It will be processed in the client side, so which makes it a little bit faster when compared to the Aura, right? So that's why it is called as a better performance. It's a use of use. So if you look at this point, most of the LWC code are understood by browser engine itself. Even though if you look at your browser, it may be a Chrome, or it might be a Microsoft Edge or Firefox, Safari, whatever it may be the browser you are using. The browsers will generally have engines. Okay, the browsers will generally have built-in engines. These built-in engines will process HTML tags. It can process a text. It can process a JavaScript. This is the capabilities of browser engines. So this browser engines has the capability of HTML, JS, and CSS processing capability, web standard processing capabilities. Lightning Web Component will be a very faster way to implement and a better performance you can able to get that. No need to have a separate complex framework. If you look at Aura, Aura is going to be, Aura is built on top of a complex framework. It involves a complex framework. So if you look at LWC, it's very easy to build, easy to understand, and it's a very fast in performance also, because it is not relying on any framework. It is relying on a web standard. Okay. So generally, if you look at your web page, there is a terminology called single page web apps, right? So what is meant by single page web application? If you look at this particular page, let me go to open an opportunities, and I'm going to open a record detail page. Okay, let me try to open any one of the record, go for all opportunities, and I'm trying to open a page. Okay, so this is generally called as a record detail page. From the Salesforce terminology, we will call it as a record detail page. From a web perspective, this is called as a web page, right? This is called as a web page. So what is meant by a single page web application? Single page web application means a web page consists of different set of components. If you look at it, highlights panel, this is a separate component. If you look at this, status display component, this is going to be a separate component. The related list, this is going to be a separate component. So a single page will consist of different types of components putting together and build a single page. So if you are going to select something, this page going to reside same. Only the component will interact with the server and its data will be changed. So dynamic way of building the component, building the web page content. So that is generally called as single page web application. For example, you can consider Gmail, right? So once you logged in into the Gmail, you will be having your inbox, right? When you're trying to write a mail, you will be going for compose. So it will not take you to the second page, or it will not take you to the next page, right? So immediately there will be a pop-up, and the pop-up will ask you to compose the email, right? So you are going to stay in the same page. The contents will be dynamically changing. So this is generally called a single page web applications. Okay. So what is the web-based programming model? It is going to be an LWC or whatever it may be. It is going to be a universal one. So a web-based programming model going to be universal one. Why we need to know this? Okay, I'm going to build an LWC. Why I should know that? You should know this because LWC is going to be run on based on the web-based programming model, right? So let's say you are a client or you are a user. Okay. So you will be requiring some data from the server, right? So as a user, we will be clicking a button. Let's say I want to see all the opportunities. I will be selecting all opportunities list view. Immediately collect the data. That request will directly go to the server. The server will process the data. The server will pull the data from your org and it will responding the data back. Okay. So the data which is coming from the server will be rendered in the sense it will be displayed, will be rendered in the front end. So generally in the web-based programming model, if you look at it, you will be having a front end and you will be having a back end. Back end in the sense where you store your data, right? Front end in the sense your browser, generally called as front end. Okay, so if you look at this, your front end consists of, it will process HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as plain text, because your front end is going to be a browser, right? So if you look at your component, you are going to build a LWC component. This component will be part of your page. So initially, if I'm trying to open an opportunity page, the request will go to the server. The server will in turn send the page. The page will consist of the LWC component, which consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That will be rendered in the user interface. That will be rendered in the browser, and you will be seeing the component. Once I am trying to give the input into the component, I am trying to click the button. What will happen? Again, the data will be sent back. Again, one more request. So the web-based programming model is basically based on a request to the server and response from the server. Since the LWC is built based on the web-based technology, the component is not rendered in the server side. The component will be rendered in the client side only. This makes a little bit faster. It will be cached in the client side. So this makes this particular LWC better performance when compared with Aura. Okay, so this is how a little bit brief explanation about web-based programming model. So what is meant by front end? Front end, which consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You can able to see it from the picture, right? So if you look at it in the server, you have a Lightning Web component and you have a component definition. Component definition means whether I want to show this particular component in the Lightning record page or Lightning home page or in the flow, where I want to render the component. That will be defined in the component definition, right? So once there is a request from the client, the component will be sent back to the client side and it will be rendered in the HTML, and you can able to see this in the UI. Okay, fine. So this is the LWC Framework Stack. Since LWC is built on top of web-based framework, obviously it should have some kind of a framework also to process. For example, you can build a component with UIs, but to fetch the data, we will be having on top of this web standards, we will be having some web components called Lightning Data Service. This Lightning Data Service is responsible to pull the data from your Salesforce org. And you will be having base Lightning component. For example, I want to show a calendar. I want to show an input box. I want to show a pick list. So these components are readily built on top of LWC. We have these components readily built. We can make use of it. That is called generally base Lightning components. So when we are discussing about web-based technology, the component is going to be loaded in the browser, right? So then there is a chances are there is a clickjack, attack may happen, right? So some malicious JavaScript code can be injected into your browser and your data can be stolen, right? So security is also going to plays a vital role. So if you look at the LWC concepts, as far as security is concerned, we have a separate service called Lightning Locker service. So using Lightning Locker service, unauthorized JavaScript codes cannot be run in the component. Okay, it cannot be injected. In that way, we are getting the security in the form of Lightning Locker service in LWC. And apart from this, you will be having the standard JavaScript as well as web standard. You will be having a Shadow DOM, ECMAScript. We will be seeing these things, very detailed, as the sessions goes on. So this is how LWC framework, LWC components also there on top of the web standards. Okay, here comes the actual requirement. We need to build a component. How I can kickstart? Let's stop the theoretical part. Okay, I wanted to see my first component in place. Okay, if that's the case, you need to set up a development environment, right? So you need to have a development environment. What is the software requirement? Probably the materials might be shared with you, the drive might be shared, it has all the contents. Still, I'm giving a simple glance. Okay, what all are the software requirements might be? You can have Java, you should have a Java. You can have Node.js installed, and this is the it's freely available. You can able to download. This is the link. So probably we'll be sharing this particular PDF also with you. So you need to install Salesforce CLI also. What is meant by Salesforce CLI? Salesforce command line interface. You can build powerful components in your local machine with the help of this Salesforce commands. Since it is going to run in the command line interface, this is generally called the Salesforce CLI. We can have plugins also to do that. There is no need to do all the commands, from the command prompt itself, but still you need to install this Salesforce CLI in your machine. And after that, we need some editor, right? For example, we are going to type something, we will be using some Notepad or Notepad++. Those are generally called as the editors, right? But to do the programming, if you have an IntelliSense editor, probably the programming might be easier, right? So IntelliSense editor, in the sense, if I press dot, if I press space, automatically if the syntax is coming up, in the sense, probably development life will be easy for us, right? So that's the purpose of using this VS Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code. This is a open source Microsoft product. Since Microsoft is a licensed one, this is a free version which is available, VS Code. You can install this VS Code. You will be doing your development in VS Code. And in the VS Code is generally an editor. To make this editor powerful and Salesforce component build, supportive one, we need to have some extra extensions also. Okay, so extra extensions, in the sense, it's going to be a package which will help you to build the LWC component development life easier. Okay, so that's the purpose of this extension. If you look at the VS Code, let me show you your VS Code. If you look at this VS Code, this is my VS Code editor. In this VS Code editor, you can able to see here, there is an icon, right? This is called the extensions. If you click that, you can able to install the number of extensions installed in my editor. As of now, I have installed these many extensions installed in my machine. Probably this may not be required for you. You may have to install some basic extensions. We'll explain you what are the basic extensions you need probably in your machine. Okay. Steps to create LWC component. So I have installed Java, I have installed Node.js, all these things are in place. Okay, then how I can able to create a project? First step, best practice in the sense from my past experience, when you are trying to create a project, each and every day I could able to see people creating a new project. Okay, so create a first, we should go in a proper way, create a working folder for you. For example, in my machine, I have a D drive or E drive or C drive, whatever it may be. Create a folder called LWC Workshop or whatever it may be. Okay, from your convenient naming convention point of view, you can create a working folder. All your LWC snippets is going to be stored there. So in future, if I want to see a LWC snippet, I want to refer a piece of code, then no need to search all over the places. I will simply come to this working folder. I can able to see that, right? So always it's a best to start by creating a working folder for you. How you can create a working folder? That's very basic thing, right? You can go to my computer, you can able to create a working folder. That is not a big deal. And then open VS Code. So I have opened the VS Code. You need to install extensions. How you can install extension? For example, Salesforce Cli. This is the extension I need to install. So if you're connected with your system, once you start typing Salesforce Cli, you can able to see this extension pop up here. You have to select this. Once you select it, in the right hand side, you can able to see that install button. Since it is already installed in my machine, I'm seeing uninstall here or reload required. If I have updated this particular extension pack with the newer version, then probably I need to reload it, right? So if you are first time going to install, you will be seeing an install button. By clicking that install button, you can able to install this Salesforce CLI extension integration package, right? So this Salesforce package is required to be installed as a part of an extension. Okay, fine. Probably this might be given you in the PDF, clearly explain how you need to install extensions and everything. So how to create a project? I have already created a project for the time saving purpose, because if you look at these extensions, this is one of the issues with VS Code also. So these extensions will take 5 to 10 minutes the first time when you are going to start your editor. These extensions will be taking some time to load. To safeguard, I have already created a project. Okay, so how you will create a project? Simply, I will be giving you the steps how you can create a project. So go to command palette. Okay, what is meant by command palette? In your code editor, if you open VS Code, if you are using Windows machine, you can able to see Control-Shift-P. That is a shortcut. You will be seeing this, right? So this is generally called as command palette. This is where you will be typing your Salesforce CLI commands here. Okay, your SFDX commands will be typed here. If you want to create a project, you will be using create a project with manifest. This is the first step. So you need to select this, create a project with manifest. Next, it will give you a pop-up. It will ask you to go for a standard, and you have to select the standard there. Okay, since I have already created, I'm not going to create a new project because again, the extension will take time to load. Okay, fine. So create a LWC project. This is the first command. Once the project is getting created, you will have a next pop-up. There you need to select a standard and you have to give your project name. Always use one project for the entire this particular session. We are going to have, let's say, for example, 30-35 days session we are going to conduct, in the sense you will be practicing daily the code, right? Don't create project daily. Create one project. Inside the project, create a number of LWC components. That will generally avoid confusions working with VS Code. So you have created a project. So once you created the project, this will be like this. I have created a project called LWC Workshop Snippets. Okay, this is my project. Once the project gets created, next step, what you have to do here is you need to authorize an org. Okay, why I need to authorize an org? We are building a component in our local machine, right? It's a standalone machine, right? It's a desktop. So we are building the component in the desktop. Now I need to push this component into my org, right? So if you want to push your component into an org, you need to authorize. You need to connect your editor with your org. right? It might be a sandbox or it might be a production, whatever it may be. So you need to authorize an org. That is the second step. So first step, create an LWC project. Next, authorize an org. How you can authorize an org? Again, go to command palette. So here you will be having a button called authorize an org. So once you select this command, authorize an org, immediately browser will open. In the browser, it will say login.salesforce.com. There you will be giving the username and password for your org. So once that process is completed, authorization and org will be done. Once that authorization org is done, you could be able to see in the left hand side at the bottom the org connection. So once your org is successfully authorized, you can be able to see your org information here. While authorizing an org, you can give alias name. What is meant by alias name? I may be using this VS Code. I need to connect with my dev org. I need to connect with my sandbox, or I need to connect with my production org. So chances are there you may be connecting with n number of orgs, right? Because we will be building initially in the sandbox. Our LWC component will be built. Once the component is built, we will be pushing it into our production, right? If that is the case, we need to authorize with 2 orgs, right? One is the sandbox, one is the production. If that is the case, you need to authorize more than 1 org. So when you are going to authorize more than 1 org, if you give an org name, then probably it will be easy for you to select, right? So if you click here, you can able to see here. So these many orgs has been previously configured in my system. You can able to see that, right? So this will probably easy for you to select, switch over between orgs to push the component. So that is the thing involved here in authorize an org. So basically, authorize an org in the sense you are giving the username and password for your destination org where you want to push your component. Okay, so you can, chances are there you may connect with n number of org. So that's why we are giving alias name while creating an org, authorizing an org.
Hi, bro. Sorry to interrupt and cut you off in the middle. So we already have passed 30 minutes of the session. I hope Mr. Nagarajan has already given a brief introduction about why we go for Lightning Web Components, and already we have our components still, why we go for Lightning Web Component, what are the web standards we follow. So let's take the next 30 minutes to work out something, because as we have mentioned earlier, this is a workshop. We want everyone to start building your component, but in order to build your very first component, obviously you need to first set up the environment. As we have already shared the documents in the Telegram group as well as in the WhatsApp group, maybe we can also put those relevant links in the chat box. So Nagarajan, bro, kindly just paste that URL alone one by one in the chat Zoom chat box. So let the people first install the required software, and while installing, if any one of you find any difficulties, you can share your screen and clarify your doubt. So in today's session, let's first set up the environment. While setting up the environment, if any one of you face any issues, right, we will address that issue and we will try to sort it out. And whoever having a queries, you have a raise hand option in the Zoom. And in the first come, first serve basis, based on the raise hand, we will ask you to share your screen and we will resolve. We have another 30 minutes, people. This is not going to be a theory session, as you all know, this is a live workshop. We want everyone to work and install, and you are going to learn together along with us. Okay, try to start, install the softwares one by one. If you find any difficulties, let me know. Those who have installed the software, as we have explained in that session, you can start setting up your environment. All right. So over to you, people. You please start work on that installing the software. And if anybody find any difficulty, you can raise your hand in the Zoom chat. We will come one by one and resolve your query.
Yes, Sheikh Rahim. What is your query?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I'm trying to install Java plugin.
Okay.
So I find difficulty in downloading it.
Okay, share your screen.
Sir, as I'm in phone, so I can't able to share my screen. Can I tell you what is my difficulty?
Okay, yeah, of course.
So what is the file which we need to download, sir, in Java? There are so many files.
So generally, the requirement is at least you should have the Java runtime environment.
Yeah, okay. So it is asking JDK 8U321 Windows.
You can install JDK 8 or JDK 11, or you can install Java runtime environment also. JRE also is fine.
JR is also fine. Okay. And it is asking and what do you call account for Oracle to download it. So we need to create that.
It's a free account. You can create it and you can download it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Actually, this is the first time I'm also setting up my machine for this LWC one. So maybe those who are not able to connect with your machine and you are joining in a YouTube channel or just WhatsApp, maybe you can take a look at that. What are the steps we are doing here? First, I'm installing the Node.js as mentioned by Nagarajan, and the link is available in the chat. And who are all watching this session, we'll put that link in the session and in the YouTube link as well. You can use that link to download the Node.js. Of course, the installing softwares, installing extensions, these things itself will take for another 20 to 30 minutes. So let's make use of this session. Whoever finding difficulty in installing or setting up the environment, because that is the crucial part when it comes to LWC. Even you can learn the concept easily, you can develop the component easily, but that setting up the environment with your machine requirement is a kind of a thing most of the people are finding difficulty. I hope this session will definitely help you with that. If anybody installing the softwares facing issues, can raise your hand and you can clarify your queries. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Prashant.
Sir, Visual Studio Code, which one we have to download? Can I share screen?
You got that link, Prashant? You
Ah.
can check the link in the chat. You can use that and download.
Yes, but there are lots of files are there. So which one?
Okay. I don't see a lot of files. Do you see my screen? Based on which OS you use download the one. If it is Windows, download Windows.
These
If it
one,
is Mac,
user installer, system installer, or zip file.
this
Prashant,
one.
if you look at it, user installer means it will be as a MSI package. So if you double click it, it will be like a wizard. It will ask you to install next. So it's better to download with the user installer.
Okay. And so
So based on
can I store the path in D drive?
That's fine. That's your wish. Yeah, you can do that.
Because in C drive I have Python path.
That's your wish. Based on your machine, you can choose these options, right?
Okay.
Ashok, you are sharing my screen or my screen is shared?
I stopped sharing my screen. I'm
Okay.
just posting the links. Maybe let's wait for the people to.
Okay, fine.
Hi Ashok.
Yes,
Hello.
Venkatesh.
Yeah, could you share the link for the Java one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have shared JDK 11. Okay, Java 11. So probably the latest one.
Hi Nagaraj, this is Senthil.
Yes, yes, indeed.
I'm downloading the Node.js one. Do I have to wait to complete this process to get the next one, or?
You can parallelly do that. It is based on your system, configurations, right? You can parallelly download the things. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, if you look at my screen, I have just completed installing the Node.js setup. So it is done. So I'm clicking on continue. Okay. In the meantime, Visual Studio Code. I have just installed the Visual Studio Code.
Hi, Ashok. We can see only Nagaraj's screen.
Okay, bro, you can stop share your screen, bro. Nagaraj. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have just installed the Node.js and now
Not
I
yet,
have
Ashok.
just
I mean,
installed
not still
the
able to
Visual
see
Studio Code.
Naga's screen.
Sir, your
Sorry?
screen is not.
Still, we are unable to see the screen. And still, Nagaraj on the screen.
Let Nagarajan, bro, please stop share your screen. Okay. Okay, others, please put yourself on mute. We are getting a background noise. Okay, I have just installed the Visual Studio Code and the Node.js. Yes, once I have installed, I'm getting this. You can close this window to stop now. The detailed instruction to install this tool manually are available here. So please continue anyone. Bro, we can close this window, right? Nagarajan.
Sorry, bro.
After installing Node.js, I'm getting this screen, so we can close this window,
you
right?
can close this. Yes.
Yes. So, and I have installed Visual Studio Code. Once I have installed and opened, this is what I'm getting. And similarly, I have installed CLI, Salesforce CLI. I have installed Salesforce CLI. So once installed Salesforce CLI, maybe you can run this command to check whether you got the updated version. SFDX, I guess, update or hyphen update. Okay. So this will helps you to get the updated CLI version. So once you installed Salesforce CLI, you got the link there. You can install. You can go to the run command and you can just update this CLI. Okay, it is taking. It will definitely going to take some time. Let's wait for that. In parallel,
Hello, sir.
I'm
Sorry
just
for interrupt.
yes.
Sir, which one Java JDK we have to install? There are lots of files.
Java JDK.
JDK 8 and above.
8 and above.
Yes. Yes, Rizwan. Have any queries?
Bro, have we shared the links for Java JDK in the chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, here it is. Oracle Java. Okay. So let me again share my screen. I'm in Java SE archive downloads. So this is the link we have shared, right? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe let me put this. Okay. Okay, here we got Linux, Mac, Solaris, and Windows. We got Windows 64 installed. Bro, this one, right? JDK 11.0.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
If their
So
machine is
if-
a 64-bit, so probably these days all the machines are coming on 64-bit. Probably
Correct.
sometimes those who are using Windows 7 probably check it out. You might have 32-bit, right? So that is the case. They should go for older versions. Yeah.
Right. So it will ask you to sign into the Oracle account. Suppose if you don't have the Oracle account, better sign up create an account. It is a free only. You can create a new account and join. And I already have the account. I'm just signing it. It is downloading. Guys who are just watching this session, better try this on your own, because while you're trying only, you will find and come across with a lot of difficulties, because installing the software itself will take a lot of time. Okay, so the Java JDK, it is installed. Let's see, look at the CLI. The CLI, it is also updated. Let me close this one. So 4 major. The first one, Node.js.
Hello, sir.
Node.js is done. And yes, someone asked any
Sir,
query?
Node.js is not installed.
You haven't installed.
Not installed.
Please install. We have shared the link in the chat itself.
Sir, I downloaded that, but it stopped now. Download.
So first install Java, then you go for Node.js, Prashant.
Okay.
Java, Node.js, Visual Studio Code, then Salesforce, CLI, and then what else, bro? Extensions. Okay. Okay. These things we need to do, and we have shared the links for everything. So now the thing pending for me is extensions. Once you open the Visual Studio Code, search for Salesforce, reload required. You can install the necessary Salesforce extension, especially this one, Salesforce extension packs, Salesforce CLI integration. These two are mandatory. Rest, it's up to you how you're going to make use of it. Okay. All right. Anybody facing any difficulty? I see 2 people have raised the hand. Rizwan and Radha KG. Rizwan, do you have any questions? I will come to you, Radha. Rizwan, you have any questions? Sorry, Rizwan, we are not able to hear you properly. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. Yes, Radha, please go.
Actually, by installing the Visual Studio Code, there is a 3 options like user installer, system installer, and zip. So that system installer I have to go, right?
Could you please share your screen?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. So as recommended, you should go for user installer, 64-bit or 34-bit. It depends on your mission.
Okay, and one more thing I'm also having, like I just installed the thing with the server for JRE for Java. So while I'm opening, just redirecting to the App Store. So instead of that, what I should do for Java installing?
Are you using Linux system?
No.
TAR is generally for Linux. Okay, you need to download Windows-based version. TAR is Linux system.
Okay, so
you should go for Windows installer. In the list of JDK, you will be seeing, at the bottom, there is a called Windows 64 installer, right? You need to download that. Don't go for TAR. That is generally called as bin.exe.
Okay.
Maybe you can go to that link we have shared in that chat, Radha. Please click that link. It will go to the landing page where you can you see the list of files to install.
Check for Windows installer.
Please check the chat. Yeah. In Zoom, you can check the chat option. Or else I will do one thing. I will put all the links in the Telegram channel too, so that it will be easy for you all.
Okay, fine.
This one, right?
Which one are you sharing the screen?
We have shared the updated link in the chat.
Scroll down.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Scroll down, brother. Scroll down. Scroll
Okay.
down. Scroll down to
So-
the bottom. You have Windows installer. See there, Windows 64 installer. In the right hand side, you have a Windows 64 bin.exe, right? That is the file you need to go for.
Okay, so that is installer I can go, this one, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Remaining I already installed everything. Thank you.
Okay, Shivakumar. Ashok Shivakumar.
Yeah, yes, Ashok. It is need to download for Oracle Java SE development kit only, right?
Yes.
Yes, you.
Okay.
Actually, generally, if you look at it, Java will come with two flavors. One is called Java SDK and another one is called Java Runtime Environment, JRE. So both is fine. You can go for a JDK, because if you are going to build a Java application, then you will be going for JDK. We are installing this only for referencing, right? So runtime environment is also fine. So whatever you download.
Yeah, okay. Actually, it is my office laptop, so I have portal. Actually, I need to
You
download
can check,
that.
probably you might have Java already installed, right? So you can check that it is already installed in the C program files. Check for a folder called Java. If it is there, open that. You will be having a version with the Java name, Java 8 or Java 9, something like that. So check that.
Okay,
Sometimes,
program file or program x86
C program files. x86 means if you are going to have a 32-bit system, then it is x86. If you have a 64-bit, you can check in the C program files directly.
Okay, program file. What is the folder?
Java. There will be a folder. If it is already installed, there will be a folder called Java there.
No, it is not available actually.
Yeah, then you need to install it. Yes.
Yeah. Oracle Java SE development kit 11.0, 1.0. Right?
Yeah, that is the latest one. You can download that.
Hello, sir.
If possible, can I share the screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Prashant.
Sir, can I share screen?
Now Ashok is going to share. Let's wait.
1 minute, it is loading. Yeah, it's mine and it's loading and hanging that system.
Okay.
So
Then
yeah,
Prashant, you
someone
share.
you can.
Prashant, you share.
Okay, sir.
Prakash, any issues with installation?
Sir, this window is open after login.
Okay.
What
So once you logged in, you go to the link which is shared in the chat. That will take you directly to the page.
Which one?
Which is shared in the chat, right? The way Ashok opened, right? Ashok opened that link, it will
Java JDK.
download. Yes.
Yes, sir. I opened that link. After that, downloaded, and they have to log in there.
It is asking to
Once it is
install down user
downloaded, when
down.
it is download, it will ask you to log in. So you need to
Yes.
log in. If you don't have any account, you need to create an account. Then
Yes, I created
it will
that.
download. Then it will download. Once you created an account, logged in into the Oracle website, and you try to open in another tab, you try to open the link which is shared in the chat, Java download link.
Nagaraj, it is asking him to install down in taskbar. It is showing he is not installing. It is shielded symbol is this.
He downloaded VS Code. I don't think he downloaded JDK in the taskbar. And something is already opened there. There is a Windows icon is there in your machine. Yeah, this is the page. Scroll down and you can download. There is a Windows x64 installer, right? Wait. Scroll up a little bit. And who is scrolling? Prashant, scroll up. You have a Windows 64 installer, right? A JDK 64 installer. Please download that and install.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I downloaded that and created account also.
Okay, where you downloaded? Show me the downloaded file. If you have downloaded, probably it might be in the downloaded folders, right? Open the download folder in your machine. Let's check it out. If you have already downloaded, the way you install Node.js, you need to install this.
Seems like Prashant, you yet to give the permission in your machine to install Node.js. You see, there is a link is keep on coming up, the security link. Check your
Before
taskbar.
Zoom icon.
Left to the Zoom icon in your taskbar. Okay, in the meantime, others, do anybody have any queries? I see still Prakash, you have query. Yes, Prakash?
Nagarajan, so I have installed this VS Code, but I have created a project on my desktop. Is it okay, or I need to create in CRD drive?
Don't create a project in the desktop. Please have it in your D drive or E drive if you have more than one drives.
Yeah. Okay, Nagarajan. I will recreate it then.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Because we are going to do it only one time, right? Project creation. So let's do it in a proper way.
Yeah, okay, sure, Nagarajan. Thank you.
Hello, Nagarajan.
Yes.
Just want to ask that do I have to do anything with that metadata coverage report URL given?
Why are you asking inside the project?
No. In the document given at the last, in the reference link, there is one link, metadata coverage.
In the link?
Yes.
You are talking about the software installation?
No. I have done it everything. Just there is one link in the reference document that's metadata coverage.
Okay, no need to do that. We will create a project and create a component. We will deploy that. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Madhav Singh, do you have any query?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Ashok and Nagaraj. I just wanted to know that are we recording this session and will upload to the drive?
Yes, it will.
Because I'm sorry, I forgot that it's been starting by today. So I have joined half an hour late. So
no problem. It will be available in the drive. We'll let you know once we upload.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Vaishnavi?
Yeah, I got it cleared.
Okay, so those who got cleared your queries, kindly lower your hand so that we'll give chances for others to get it clarified. And guys, we are already running out of time. So do anybody have any queries in terms of installing the software? The day one, it's all about installing the software.
Yeah, Nagarajan. So sorry for interruption. Yeah, actually, I have already installed everything previously. So the only thing is Node.js I have to install right now. So after installing, it is keep on installing Python 3 as well. So is it?
No need to install Python. So because we are going to use this for internal npm only for LWC development. Okay, so probably it might be ask you to select the packages. You might have selected Python, so probably it might be installing. So Node.js is generally a Java runtime environment, which is a server-side runtime environment. So that's what.
Okay.
Riyaz Ahmad, I would be able to see your hand raised in the chat box. So do you have any query? Riyaz Ahmad.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, Riyaz.
Oracle.
Sorry, Riyaz?
After that, what I can do?
Share your screen if you have any technical difficulties. Share your screen. Probably it might be helpful.
Sure, sir. There are
Yes. Have you created the Oracle account?
Yeah.
Okay, then open the link which is shared in the chat box, which will take you directly to the installation page. Let me put it again in the chat. Okay, as the latest one. Okay, now you could be able to see that in the chat, in the Zoom chat itself. Open that link. That will take you to the download page. Zoom chat, you can able to see that. Okay, scroll down.
Hello, sir.
There you scroll down. There you will be having Java 11. You can download Windows in 64 installer. Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Selvam, yes.
Sir, can I share screen?
Let's go one by one, Prashant. Those who are having a question, please raise your hand. We will come one by one. Selvam, yes, please.
Yeah, hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, Selvam.
Yeah, so I couldn't install Node.js because my Windows is 7.
What is the error you are getting? Please, could you please share your screen?
Yeah, sir.
Riaz, please stop share your screen. Guys, we are already running out of time. We will be possibly winding up this session in another 2 minutes. If you still finding difficulty in installing the softwares, I hope you're all part of our Telegram group as well as the WhatsApp group, right? Post your queries there. We will assist you there. Okay. And you can also join tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9 for the sessions. Okay. And Nagarajan bro, if you
yeah.
Bro, if possible, you take a short break, Nagarajan bro. Anyway, you need to connect for the Q&A session.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Please take a short break and connect by 9:15 for the Q&A. I will wrap up this session in another 2 minutes.
Okay, fine.
Take your break.
Panisalam, I think
yes,
you have Windows 7, I guess, right?
Yeah, sir. Windows 7.
So probably, if possible, try to upgrade to Windows 8. So otherwise, VS Code also will give you some issues. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Otherwise, you need to go for old version of Node.js. Currently, you are installing this Node.js, latest version, right?
Okay.
So that's why it is expecting 8.1. So if you look at it, it is supported only in 8.1, or you need to go for Windows 2012 R2. You need to install. Probably that is a difficult task. Okay, you may not get the correct CD or DVD, so that may not be the case.
Sir, could you please share the link?
Let me check the older versions.
Yeah,
Okay. Gustav.
Ashok.
Pavan, let's go one by one, Pavan. Gustav, yes. Do you have any query?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
The link which you have pasted in chat box for SFDX CLI, I have installed and run that. After that, while opening this VS Code, I again got that CLI integration to install.
That is an extension. So seems like you have installed it. Fine. And there is one more extension is there on your left side. Salesforce extension. Install that too. Second one. Yes. Install that too.
Okay.
Do you have any other queries?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Please lower your hand. Yes, Prashant.
Ashok, sorry to interrupt. Panisalam, I have shared a link which consists of the previous releases, Node.js previous releases.
Okay,
go there and try to download the previous releases.
So the same issue, sorry, on Oracle I couldn't download because my laptop is
all the machines, all the softwares currently, expecting 64-bit Windows 8 or more, right?
Yeah.
So that's a problem. So probably if you are going for 7, in the sense you need to search for older versions everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Prashant.
Sir, there is error while installing Java.
Share your screen. Bro, you take a take a break, Nagarajan bro. You can connect by 9:15 for Q&A.
Sure.
Maybe I will wrap up in another 1 or 2 minutes. This one.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So what is the error you are getting, Prashant? This is Java. Okay.
Sir, can I give path in a D drive?
C drive. It is fine. So drive is as long as you have memory and space, you can install.
So there is
this will
already
require
Python
420
in
of
my
MB.
C drive.
Sorry?
Python is already in my C drive.
That is not an issue, but make sure you have a space in your machine because it is going to consume nearly 420 GB MB, right? See, you have a space in the drive and install. Another installation is in progress. It seems like you're already installing this Java.
These Node.js.
See, you yet to give access for the node. See, look at your taskbar. There is a icon still blinking. That is what we are keep on telling. Click that one. Give permission to install. Click that one. You have to give a permission, right? Not to install the software. Please first install this one, then try this one. Okay, Gayatri. Gayatri, do you have any questions?
Yes,
Gayatri.
sir. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, please.
Sir, after installing Java, sir, I got this error.
After installing Java, what is your query?
Sir, I can't able to create new project also.
No. Wait, just hold for some time. You have done for all the necessary softwares, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
you have to change
do
the
this
environment.
later. Okay. Definitely it will take some time. Okay.
Yeah,
After
Ashok.
installing and all, it might need a restart, system restart, or Visual Studio restart and all. So let's wait for some time and you can try it later. Okay.
Ashok, Arul here.
Okay, sir.
We need to change the environment, Java environment.
Sorry. What is that?
We need to change the Java environment. Probably the system already installed Java 16. So we need to change the Java environment.
Okay. She's like, have you updated your version, Java version, Gayatri?
Yeah. No, by default, Java 16 will be available in some system. Even I'm also facing the same issue. We need to change the Java environment in our default system.
Sorry, sir,
Even I am receiving the same message on my own.
Yeah,
okay.
just Google how to
could you
change.
please assist here? Could you please assist here, like how to change that? You're talking about the environment variable, Arul?
Yeah. Go to your drive, any drive, Windows E, press Windows E. Yeah. Click it on the local, this PC.
Go to this.
The left hand side,
PC.
there is a this PC option, click that. No, just click that. In right click here.
No, don't. In the open space, right click.
Open space, right click. Properties. Advanced system settings. Environment variables. Where is your Java pod? Have you installed Java?
Yes, sir.
The
you
path
install
is
Java,
not
it
there.
should be visible here. The path is not there.
The path is not here. Okay, scroll down, you'll see.
But you can give path like user variables for Arul is there, right? There you can give new button.
Yeah.
So in variable name you can give Java home or some name, your wish.
And if you install Java, you just go and copy paste that link.
URL in the variable value box.
Type the
Java.
variable name first. Yeah. Then
and go to your
come
C
to
drive.
variable. Click on browse file.
Go to C drive. Yeah. Program files. Java. Yeah. Copy paste the link. And the above program files, Java, JDK, just click that.
You have the URL
click and
above.
get the URL. Yeah.
Just click that, copy it. Yeah.
Paste it here. Okay. Click save and you have to restart the system.
Click on OK. Click on OK. And again, click on OK here.
Okay. If you restart the system, it will work for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Arul. Yeah.
Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, please stop, sure. Okay, Pawan Kumar.
Hey, Ashok, currently I'm using Zulu. So is it okay instead of Java SDK?
Zulu. Why it is Zulu? Like since it is a freeware you're using?
No, so I'm using the VS Code from long time. So I started with Zulu. So
okay, you see, if
you
you're
want me to
already
switch over?
using a Visual Studio Code and it is working fine for you, then it is fine. You just install the Salesforce CLI and the extension pack, you can start using. Because it is
Okay.
just a
Even
runtime environment only, right? It is fine, no problem.
yeah. Okay. Even
Okay.
Windows 11 is okay, right? No
Fine.
worries with that.
Windows 11, even the Windows cannot give you the guarantee. It is still in, it just released, right? Fine, let's give a try. Anyway, they are also sending the patches on the daily basis. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. All
Thanks.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm good.
Sriram. Yes, Sriram. Sriram, SP, any questions? Vaishnavi, any questions?
Yes, 1 second, I'll share this.
Okay, guys, I'm winding up the session in another 1 minute because we have Q&A session should start. If you have more questions, please put it in the Telegram group you are part of it or WhatsApp group you are part of it. And we are going to connect again tomorrow same time 8 to 9. Yes, Vaishnavi, what is the query?
This one I can exit, right?
Yeah, you can exit. Fine.
Then
Yeah, you can close. You can close it. So you have installed all the software. You're not facing any issues, right?
I clicked all the links and installed. I don't know.
Install. It is fine. Okay. Maybe you can follow the document we have posted in the Telegram channel to proceed further. Again, if you find any difficulty, post your query in the Telegram group. All right. And one last, Rahul, do you have any question?
Yes, Ashok, can I share my screen?
Yeah, please.
Actually, Ashok, I'm facing error while installing one extension. Let me show you. See
Okay.
here, this is.
Is it Mac?
No.
Okay. Your voice is breaking. What is your query, Rahul? Error while installing Salesforce Cli integration. Please check log for more details. Okay, have you installed the CLI and other requested Node.js, Java and all?
This is I installed all things.
Okay. Maybe you probably close all these Visual Studio and restart the machine and give a try later. Okay, see, these things work
no
like
issue.
this only. We even though Salesforce is a cloud-based one, but in order to do this kind of development, we need to depends on all the software and machine performance and all. So we need to bear with all this thing. All right. So thanks everyone, and we are winding up the session here. If you have more queries, please post it in the Telegram group and WhatsApp group. You are part of it, and if you're watching it over the YouTube, put it in the comments. We'll check and we'll review. We'll meet you all tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9 for the day 2 workshop where we will start building up the components. Thanks everyone. See you. Bye.